Hello, everybody. Welcome to our team Zoom. My name is Harlequin Murray, and I get to welcome everybody, especially the new people that are coming for the first time. We're excited that you're here and happy that you're here. But I get the distinct honor and pleasure for those of you who have never been on our Zoom before. I get to introduce my personal sponsor and our team leader, Miss Ellen Winn. And for those of you who don't know her, just a little bit of information about her. She is originally from Dallas, Georgia, which is just outside of Atlanta. She grew up on her family's farm there. And she ended up going into the restaurant industry when she got out of school and was in the restaurant industry for several years and had worked her way up to a district director and a training director for Domino's Pizza. So she's got a lot of experience working with that. And she took that experience and decided to start her own restaurant and opened up her own independent pizza restaurant and had 2 locations with that. But after that, she never kind of looked back, and she hasn't had a corporate job since then, but she ended up she was introduced to network marketing many years ago. And with that, that's how I met her. And she was my upline then, and she was actually the national training director and ran a training center here in Atlanta. So she's got a lot of experience in business. She's got experience in network marketing. She's got experience in training, and we get to take reap the benefits of that. So anyways, without further ado, my friend and sponsor, Miss Ellen Winn.
Hey, thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate that, and always enjoy listening to that walk down memory lane. Thank you and welcome. If this is the first time you've joined us on our Monday night team Zoom, we do this every Monday. It's an opportunity for you as new agents, existing agents, or sometimes we have folks that are looking at us. We don't do a business presentation here, but it's a good way for someone to get a feel for who we are, right, as a team here inside the DAC family. But we're excited that you're here, whether you're watching us live or whether you're watching us on the replay. Every Monday, we go through a few highlights of what's happening in our business, some team recognition, and some training or something fun to kind of pique your interest about another level of your business. So tonight, I'm going to do like we always do, which is get us into screen share mode. I'm going to share the screen and show you our top recruiter board here. Let me see if I can get that up. And looks like that is live. All right. DAC to the rescue. I love it. Now, we go through the top recruiters because our business is word of mouth marketing, and the word of mouth comes from independent agents like you and I. So recruiting is the lifeblood of our business, and sharing this opportunity with others is the way that our products and services get marketed across the country. So having a new flow of business partners coming in, trying to determine who's going to be the next one that takes this business and runs with it is always a day-to-day activity in my business. So for the week of 2/13 through 2/19, our team leaderboard, in first place, we had DeAnthony Thomas with 6 new agent recruits. I talked to DeAnthony on yesterday, I believe. And he was so excited about everything that's going on in his business. So congratulations, DeAnthony. In second place, we had Tracy Wiggins with 5 new agent recruits. In third place, we had Nicholas Cransdown with 3 new agent recruits. In fourth place, there was a 4-way tie, each of us with 2 new agent recruits. That was myself, Jessica Saxton, Michael Stewart, and Sunil Desai. So congratulations to everyone that made the leaderboard. Now, you had to have at least 2 new agent recruits to hit the leaderboard. Many folks had 1 recruit. In fact, we had 34 people who had a total of one or more, not a total, but had one or more new recruit last week, for a total of 49 agents joining our team. So way to go, keeping those numbers steady. And I anticipate seeing those numbers grow even more as we are launching new products and new ways to make money here with DAC. So next thing I want to do, we haven't covered this in 2 or 3 weeks, and that's simply because we've been busy with updates and enhancements. We had a couple of promotions this past week and one from a couple of weeks ago that I did not recognize. So without passing those by for too long, we wanted to do some DAC 1 recognition tonight. What is DAC 1? Well, to get promoted to DAC 1 in our compensation plan, you have to have at least one qualified funding. What is a qualified funding? That means it's at least $6,000 in funded value and a total of 10,000 or more in funded value. So some folks get to DAC 1 with just that one client because it's 10,000 or more in funded value. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 clients before someone gets to DAC 1. Each of these 3 were able to get there with one funding because they hit that 10,000 and above level. So I want to congratulate Raquel Martin, Sandra Campbell, and Janice Hayward, each for hitting DAC 1 with their fundings. Harlequin, I know you were talking to a couple of the ladies there. Were you able to get in touch with one to see if they had any comments for tonight?
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to reach Sandra, but I did reach Janice, and I believe she is on with us. And Janice, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for connecting with Harlequin. Harlequin, you want to ask her a little to share her story there, since you guys?
Sure. Yeah, so this is Janice's first funding, which I'm super proud and excited for her. But if you, Janice, if you can let us know what industry the client is in, what the dollar amount is of the funding, and what they, if you know what they happen, what they're planning on doing with the funding, and also how you met this client.
Okay. Like I said, good evening, everyone, and I'm glad to be here. I'm very excited about DAC, the program. It's a new program to me, and I'm very honored to be able to share it with my clients. I'm Janice Hayward, and I have a consulting firm, and it's called 3R Consulting Firm, and I help people with their personal credit. I help them get business credit lines and also get them ready for funding. And so this client, I've been working with him a little over a year. We worked on his credit, got his credit improved. And so he's now, of course, ready for funding. And so the loan that he got, it was about $13,000. And this was his first time applying, through DAC. And I'm very honored to have been working with him. And so he has a mobile imaging center, and it's called Gemini Imaging Center. And
Don't give out names of clients.
Okay, sorry. Okay, and yes, so he, has an imaging company, and what he's planning to do with it, he needs to get some more marketing materials, and he's trying to obtain a new machine so that he could take in and do more imaging, such as mammograms and things of that nature.
Excellent.
Fabulous.
Yeah, congratulations, and great story. And your testimonial is just proof in the pudding that looking for professionals is the right way to go when you're looking for agent partners here, because you've already got a book of business of clients that are a great fit for this. So yes, it was indefinitely where you helped him with his credit. Now you've helped him get that money that he needs, and certainly getting out into the community and being able to help with his mobile imaging services. So congratulations. We're excited to have you on board.
Thank you very much. Very excited to be here.
Awesome. We got lots of good things coming, and we're going to cover one of those here in just a few minutes. Did you have anything else you wanted to share before we go on to the next slide?
I appreciate Harlequin for calling me and getting in contact with me and making sure that I'm on this call. And I'm very eager to learn more and more about the products and services so that I can be more of an advantage to my clients. So thank you very much, ma'am.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you. We appreciate you being on with us tonight, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
bet.
And I'm looking forward to working with you more, Janice.
Absolutely. And you've got a great leader there in Harlequin. She's really active with her team, and we're just fortunate and blessed to have her. So thanks for saying yes, Harlequin, when I showed you DAC the second go round. Doesn't always happen the first time, right? Okay. Anybody else on that list were you able to get in touch with? Or are we going on to the next slide?
I don't see them on the Zoom.
Okay.
So.
Got it. All right. So let's move on. And the next thing is really big deal. Okay. David talked about this today. I announced it last week on my text group. For those of you that are on my text messaging, I said, save the date, for which was originally Tuesday. That date has been moved to Wednesday for this week. But guys, this is a really big deal, the training that we have coming up. And David emphasized that today, that we really want to make sure that we fill the house with this. And if you can't be on live, you'll have to catch it on the replay, okay? But if there's any way that you can take out and carve out an hour during the day on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, this coming Wednesday at daczoom.com, you'll want to be there. This is training on our new product launch with Rellevate, the pay any day, interest-free, free checking account, interest-free advances for employees. And we're going to be hearing from two key executives with the company. We're going to hear from Stuart Stockdale, who is the co-founder, chairman, and CEO of Rellevate, as well as co-founder and CIO Greg Schneider. You can learn more about these gentlemen if you go over to Rellevate.com and actually go, let me move this out of the way. When you go on About Us to the leadership, each one of these, you can click on this arrow or click on that red circle, and it's going to open up and tell you more about this. We're dealing with, and we're going to be in the midst of some really high profile executives from the financial industry. And the fact that they have picked David Allen Capital to be one of their marketing partners, I think really speaks volumes for us as to the credibility that David Rutz has in the marketplace with his company, David Allen Capital. And you and I are in a very unique position to be able to lock arms with folks of this caliber in the marketplace and be able to take their products and services to market. So I'm looking really forward to being on there and being able to hear from these gentlemen. As you can see, they have a background with Western Union, who was the original founders of money transfer industry. So we're in the right place at the right time with the right company and the right leadership. So let me go back over. I think that was my last slide. It is. So I'm going to go off of screen share and back to the camera. And just want to talk a little bit tonight about the importance of building and connecting. We've been talking over the past few weeks about the importance of making a list and writing down who do you know in that you want to be in partners with for agent opportunity. Who do you know that would be a good prospect company-wise for any of the services that we're marketing? And it all starts with you starting with a list. And that list is not definitive to begin with. That list should be growing and expanding every single day. In fact, if you're marketing and talking to people, that list is going to grow by 2 or 3 names on a daily basis. Let me see. We've got more folks still coming in. That's great. Harlequin, we had talked earlier today, and I'm sorry, guys, I visited my eye doctor today, and they did a couple of things to my eyes. One was just dilation, and I've never had my eyes dilated to where they bothered me so bad. So I've kind of been out of sorts all afternoon till that medication finally wore off. But Harlequin, you and I talked about some conversation for tonight. Can you remind me what it is that you thought we wanted to discuss tonight about the website?
Yeah, one of the things that our new back office is showing us is who has logged into the back office. And there's a lot of people who haven't, including brand new agents. Whenever you recruit a new agent, please make sure you let them know that they have to go and request to, or that they have to go and say that they don't know what their password is, so that they can go and set up a password. And that includes all of us who were with, who've been with DAC back when we were with Longevity and using their back office. So, yeah, it's just know that we can tell if you've been looking at your back office, and there's a lot of good information, and we will be getting our commissions added to that. David mentioned that today, that the consumer services, like our identity theft product, is going to be showing up there any day now, and then the fundings will too. So
yep, and they will start billing for the DAC Protect services. We got an email last month. They didn't charge us because he didn't have the billing set up. David Allen Capital has never been able to take credit cards. Any credit card charges that we've done were through our partner over at Longevity. So now that we're not connected to them anymore, David's got to get the payment processing so that he can start running charges for that consumer service, DAC Protect. So really excited about what's about to happen. And to elaborate more on this list, I want you to think about who should be plugging in on Wednesday. All of our existing agents should be there, right? So if you have a team, please be reaching out to that team by phone, by text message. Not everybody is opening emails. I always add new agents to the email list when they get signed up with DAC, but not all of those get delivered. And if they do get delivered, not everybody opens them. Sometimes they end up in spam. So we need to over communicate with our existing team going into Wednesday so that we can really fill the room up for those executives with Rellevate. David was telling us today, and he's told before, that he has an equity agreement with Rellevate, which means that DAC can share in the profits of Rellevate if we do a great job marketing. Okay. For us to be able to be equity partners in this, we're going to have to really deliver. And that means bringing some quality people to the table that are going to go out and speak with some quality clients and prospective clients. So again, reiterate to your team the importance of being there, but I want you to think too, who would be a good agent prospect for you to get out into the marketplace? Who do you know that's been in sales for years? Who do you know that's been in a high level position? Who do you know that's maybe retired from a high level position, but just hasn't gotten ready to quit work, right? I've got a couple of bankers in my local community that are very active still in the community. They're just retired from what they've done all these years. So I'm going to reach out to them and ask if they're open to making some additional money in their retirement, because it could be as simple as them just picking up the phone and asking a few questions and being able to bring on some of these big accounts. Also, benefits brokers are great prospects to bring into the mix here as a Rellevate partner, DAC agent for Rellevate, and people that have been in human resource departments. Dave said that human resources is not necessarily the best avenue to go when we're talking to companies. We'll learn more about their strategic approach on Wednesday, but people that work within an organization are ones that are going to be able to lead you to someone that can be a decision maker with this, and then starting from the top down. So just be thinking outside the box of who do you know that could lead you to a big account with Rellevate. There's upfront bonuses, a couple of dollars per employee that comes on and signs up with a Rellevate account, that checking account. Those are upfront bonuses. And then every month in residuals, it'll pay you between 20 and 50 cents or so per month per employee that maintains and keeps that Rellevate account. So as you sign up companies that have hundreds, then thousands, then tens of thousands, and potentially have hundreds of thousands of clients on the books, you're building a solid long-term residual income with this product. And as David has been pointing out, and I've said too, over time, take what it is that you're good at, right? As far as marketing goes, take what it is that you're good at, take that skill and build on it to be able to start broadening your reach here with the DAC service line. Same thing with what product it is that you're going to market. Take whichever product we have that you feel good about and start with that, lead with that, and then be able to branch out. And I really like having more of a consultative conversation with folks once I've gotten the door open and they're willing to talk to me about one thing. I like doing a coffee break with someone if I can, or even you can do that over a Zoom or a phone call where you can set up a 15-minute meeting to get to know a little bit more about their business. And whatever it is you're wanting to get the conversation started with, do that, but then ask questions. I think we get a lot more from people if we ask them questions rather than trying to tell them about our business. When you ask questions, it gets them engaged in the conversation. So, asking them, how many employees do you have? How long have you been in business? Do you guys offer health care? Do you, how often do you pay? We're looking for bi-weekly pay or longer term. If they're a weekly pay company, that pay any day advance is not going to be as big a deal as those who get paid bi-weekly or longer term. So, those types of questions, digging a little bit deeper, are going to take you a long way. So just want you to start thinking about that. Think from the business perspective of what information would be helpful to you in determining what services we have would be of benefit. So I don't want to keep you guys long tonight. I want to open up for any questions that we have at this point, or anything that you've got to share, Harlequin. As I said, I've kind of been out of sorts today and my eyes didn't come back to normal until the past couple of hours. So I did good getting this slide presentation put together.
Well, we appreciate you, Ellen, because I know
thank
you're
you.
feeling good. But and people, just so you know, Ellen has to do a whole lot of work to get everything set up. So I truly appreciate what she does for us. I don't say that often enough, and I apologize for that. But it takes a lot of work to go and come up with some of the stuff that she does. One thing I did want to point out, and I didn't get a chance to tell you about this, Ellen, so I'm going to catch you off guard. But for those of you who are talking to business owners about our asset-backed funding, a couple of things that I'm finding, you need to make sure that you look at the qualifications. They have to be doing at least $75,000 per month in revenue. If they have other businesses, we might be able to work with that. Reach out to me. And I can help you with that. But before especially if you're on my team. The other thing is, a lot of people are going and they're saying, oh, I've got somebody who wants $10 million. And they're thinking, oh, $10 million, that's going to be a $400,000 commission for me. And no, it's not. On the asset-backed funding, it's calculated on the funded value is 7 to 10% of the month of the fund or the amount. So let's make it easier numbers. If it's $1 million that they're getting, the commission is going to be based off of 70,000 to 100,000. So it's still going to be a big paycheck, but it's going to be, at most, what is it? If you're at the 4% level, it's going to be at most $4,000. So between, what is it? $2,800 and $4,000, not $28,000 to $40,000 for $1 million deal. So I just wanted to point that out to people so you don't get all your hopes up and then have me dash your hopes later whenever I tell you, no, that's not going to happen. But I've had several people in the last couple of weeks that are working on some of these bigger deals, and they're getting upset with me when I tell them that. So I'd rather people know now. But
It's
there
still
is,
going to be a nice commission though on those.
oh
bigger
yeah,
deals, even if
absolutely,
it's-
because most of them are over $1 million. So, I've got, I think I had one today where it was like 5 or 10 million that they're looking for. But and the other thing is, let them know it may be several days before they hear back. So it's not like Bank Breezy where they hear within 24 to 48 hours. And it's going to take 1 to 3 months for it to get funded. So set the expectations with your clients. But if you have questions about a client, if you need to, touch base with me, and I can help try and figure it out for you.
Yeah, awesome. And speaking of Bank Breezy, I did not mention, but want to make sure that you guys have seen that we now have multiple lenders for that $5,000 to $15,000 range. So those clients that used to automatically get sent over to the Biddy Advance team, where it was only one lender in that totally online application sequence, now those clients are going to get sent over to Bank Breezy. So we've got the internal team that's actually working that file. We have multiple lenders that are willing to lend in that $5,000 to $15,000 space. So that's going to get better offers for your client, potentially more offers, and more offers are going to mean more fundings, which means more commissions for you guys. So super excited about that. I always love when a client qualifies to go over to the Bank Breezy internal team, because they are so good at what they do. They're so good at working with our clients, and you're not going to have that frustration of, well, I can't get my bank account to link like we had with Biddy Advance. So Biddy is still in the mix, but not the only lender there, not the only game in town anymore. So really excited about that. Let's go to some questions here. I'm going to ask Shelton to unmute. How are you doing tonight, Shelton?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent.
Well, you answered the first question I had, and that was about the being that now it's under Bank Breezy. Is it still 5 to 15,000? Well, but my other question is, we had it. Let me open this here. It was their lending was like 2,000 to 25,000. Has that changed? Because they don't have it on the page. They have it all. This now one page for information for us. It says 2,000 to 2 million, but on that micro funding, where's that cap at? Is it still at 25,000?
Yeah, don't worry about it, because it's not just tied in that one lender anymore. Because the way it was when it was 2,000 to 25, and they actually went up to 35, they bumped that. That would be the max they could get if they qualified in the Biddy Advance. But now, since it's going to the internal team, they're going to put it out to multiple lenders. So there's really not a cap on it other than what their revenue.
Okay.
It's going to cap them at based on 200% max on that.
Okay.
So, just know we can go as low as 2,000 and then as low as 400 on the Giggle if their Giggle is still the only lender.
Giggle's still the same. Yeah. All right. Now, and because I'm working on my flyers, and I have one for the micro funding, one for the big funding, one for the processing.
You got one going. Okay, good.
Oh yeah. Now on the circle, because I did go and I toned it down like you told me. Should I still wait until that other information you said is coming out, or am I good to go and work with what I have now?
Well, and remind me of which piece of that I said to wait on.
Well, you told me to not put out as much information, but you said that circle is, let me get to that email. Hold on real quick. That will take me a second here.
Sure.
Come on, open.
Yeah, as you're looking for that, I think the more information we put out, the more detailed information that we put out, the more the likelihood that something changes, right? Where Biddy was our only partner in there. And if we put all of that in that tight communication and that changes, now you got obsolete information. So I like hitting the bullet points on
Yeah.
what we have to offer rather than the minute details. And then driving that traffic over to the website where those details on the website are going to be updated on a regular basis and not obsolete. You know, when we make changes, it may take them a day or two to get everything current, but that way just bullet points on flyers and whatever you're sending out, driving them to the website.
Yeah.
Current information.
Yeah, and what you told me was they're about to release a slide deck, which will make it better for us to.
For Sphere and payment processing. In fact, they're working on putting together some training for us, but they're specifically doing a slide deck for David to do a training for DAC agents on the payment processing. So just hold off on that because I think there's going to be some good imagery on there and some things that you can take, some bullet points.
Okay, awesome. And then my one thing, I just want to make a quick comment just so everybody know, if you haven't looked at the new back office and all that, dig. I was expecting stuff to be closer to the surface, like the Super Saturday. Dig. It's there, but you have to take your time, go through everything, and you'll find it. It is still there. I couldn't find it forever, and then all of a sudden today I dug more, and boom, there it all was. So
you're talking about the Agent Resource Center.
Agent Resource Center. Sorry, not the back office. Agent Resource Center. So yeah, dig. It's there. It's awesome. It's very nice.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, thank you, Shelton. Appreciate the question. Was that all you had for us? Excellent. Okay, let's go to Richard Draldez. Hey, Richard, how are you doing tonight? There we go.
I am doing good. I just had a quick question. I did a social media post today in reference to the asset-based funding, and I saw the website says commercial real estate. Is it only commercial real estate? If a business has, other real estate, properties, can they be considered as well?
It has to be commercial real property, either commercial building or land that can be commercially developed. Now, Harlequin got a mixed message on that, but from what I understand, it is commercially developable land that it would be zoned for that. So yeah, it has to be real property. If it is a multi-family unit with 5 or more residents, like a condo complex or something on those lines, then that would qualify as well.
So a mansion or a multi-million-dollar house wouldn't qualify.
Now that would, if it's personal property, no, it would not.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good
Ellen,
question. Yes.
I will add industrial is also acceptable.
And wouldn't industrial be commercial?
No, it's a different zoning.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess as long as it's not residential, it's business related, right? That's a better.
Yeah. And there's it's up in the air about agricultural.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Harlequin. Okay, Jay Plummer, how are you tonight?
I'm doing
Love
good.
that backdrop.
Oh, thanks. My old ship.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Two quick questions. One, where do you get your gear? Your DAC gear? I looked everywhere on the back office. It's not back there.
Yeah, it's not available anymore. This
Come
came
on.
from, well, I'm sure we'll have it in the near future, but this came from the old printer that did our drop cards before we took down those cards and switched over to the Connect card. So I'm sure we'll have some gear coming soon because David his hats and shirts and hoodies and all that.
I do believe that if I recall correctly, David saying that if it's an apartment complex with more than 4 buildings, or maybe it was 3 buildings, that it will qualify for the commercial.
We started with 4, and then he said 5
buildings, like complete structures.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he
No,
would
actually-
units, because it could be a single unit with 4 rental properties in it, 4 apartments, and that would qualify.
Oh,
We're going
okay.
with
Because I
4.
thought it was separate buildings,
No, it
structures.
doesn't have to be separate buildings.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Jay.
Thanks.
And we have Bobby Knight. Hey, Bobby, how are you tonight?
Hello, Ellen, and thank you once again, you and Harlequin, for all the support that you do. I just wanted to thank you guys on that. Ellen, I had a couple of questions. I see the Super Saturday. It's been updated on February 17th. So that means, is that completely updated? And the other question I have, the funding quick reference sheet. We don't have the biddy no more, because it used to be the biddy in the middle. We don't have that no more.
Right. So Biddy is still one of our lenders, but they used to be the lender for that middle tier client. You know, we've got the low startup tier with Giggle, and then Biddy used to be the one between 5 and 15. Now they're still one of the lenders, but those applications are going to go to the Bank Breezy team. So we really just have 2 buckets now, Giggle or Bank Breezy, depending on what their revenue is and whether they're operating out of a personal or business checking account. On the Super Saturday, yes, David said that it has been updated. They've taken out obsolete information. I've not had a chance to go through that since he made that announcement today, but I know that they did go through. I did notice the game plan document still has a few things in it that need to be tweaked, but they've gone through and cleaned out most of the obsolete, incorrect information that is no longer available. Some, our services have changed. That was done 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and we've enhanced our program of offerings since that Super Saturday was released. So, yep, it should be updated. And on the quick reference guide, that should be the only change where they've taken Biddy off as that middle bucket.
Okay, because I had printed out that Super Saturday one. So just when I look at the old Super Saturday that I already had printed out, it'll pretty much show what's replaced, basically, right?
Yeah, you can compare it, and if you don't want to go in and waste the ink and the paper on all of it, you can kind of look through and see which pages were done. And on your print options, you can print just the pages that you need to replace if you want to do that, because that is what, a 70-something page document, and that way you don't have to reprint the whole thing. So
Okay. Ellen, once again, thank you so much. You're the greatest. I appreciate you.
I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
whole
I
team.
know. I appreciate you too, Bobby. Thank you very much. Did you say something, Harlequin? No. Okay. Cedric, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Wow, this is so exciting. I've been with David Allen Capital for a year and a half. I have not gotten a funding or anything. I was excited when it first came out. I walked through a lot of doors. People didn't need funding at the time. That's basically our only product. And I joined the chamber. I'm an ambassador for the chamber. And now, with this Rellevate and the credit card processing and all the other things that are coming with it, now I can see, it's just like a sports team coming together. You're getting all your pieces together, and I'm so excited. But I have one question. There's a gentleman that owns 2 gas stations, and I talked to him about the ERC program. And we went through the whole process, and he wanted me to get the paperwork from his accountant, and his accountant was vehemently against it. He didn't know he didn't lose any money and this and that and other. So I went back to talk to him a couple of weeks later, and his accountant, his CPA, I don't know if he's accountant or CPA, he filed it for him. And he was like, he was elated. And I said, well, how much you going to get? He said, oh, $78,000. And, I didn't know how, I said, well, you don't know if he knows all the rules and regulations with the ERC program. I don't know. Now, could I go back in there and maybe we can look at that, his filing, or we could do it and see if there's any big discrepancy in it, or should I just move, or should I move on?
Well, it's totally up to you. I mean, our team will do a second opinion on it for sure, and
Okay.
offer that he do that. However, if the CPA is the one that has all the paperwork, he may still be reluctant, as he was in the first place, to
Right.
get that information over and may be offended on it. So I would just ask the business owner, say, hey, if you're confident that your CPA has everything coming to you that he should, then bless you. But if you'd like a second opinion on that, our team can take a look at it. We'll just need you to get all the documents. And I would put the onus back on the business owner
Okay.
to get those documents from his CPA, rather than you trying to get them. Because unless you've got a relationship there, that's kind of could be a
Well,
sticky.
I've been going into his gas station for like the last year and a half or so. He's only there on Sundays, so I get a chance to talk to him and get there early. But I can walk back in there with credit card processing, so I'm gonna get him one way or another.
Well, that's great. And congratulations on being an ambassador with your chamber. I was selected as one of the ambassadors with my chamber this year. And I know what a role you have there, an important role, and also what a visible role you have as an ambassador with the chamber. So you're in a prime position to be connecting with that local community. Where is it that you live, Cedric?
I'm in Hemet, California. It's in Riverside County, about 60 miles west of Palm Springs.
Awesome.
35 miles from Riverside. So I'm in Southern California.
Excellent. Well, it's beautiful out there, and tremendous opportunity. So I loved your analogy of like a sports team coming together. David referenced today, he said, we're a 7-year-old company, but it's almost like we're a startup, but we've got our foundation in place. All of our systems are in place as far as how we work the clients that are coming to us. Of course, the systems in our back office, the new technology, that's brand new, and we're working through getting everything connected and uploaded and downloaded and all that with the IT stuff. But the operating systems are in place, and the know-how is in place in the back, in behind the scenes, and that's what the most important piece is. So I truly believe here, when we get everything on the table with the IT in the back office and the next product launch that we have coming, we're going to be quickly in momentum as growth for our company. And those of you that have never participated in a direct selling network marketing opportunity before and been in the middle of momentous growth, you don't know what you're in for, because it's exciting when all of a sudden we become the buzz in the home-based business space and professionals have their eyes on DAC. We've got a lot of professionals already working with us, as we heard from Janice earlier, that this is, she's got a professional business, and DAC is a great add-on to that. And I think that we're going to see more and more that professional looks for an extra stream of income. DAC is going to be the perfect fit. So thank you for
one other thing, it does not have an MLM feel to it. It feels more like a insurance agency, a mortgage brokerage, and so forth. And I appreciate that part.
Yeah, but it has that beautiful network marketing level compensation that goes
right, exactly.
Income from your team of agents. David's technology today talking about a real estate broker. The broker who runs the office and owns the agency may not sell a house for several months, but they're still going to get paid because agents in their brokerage firm are out selling houses, and they get a piece of that every time one of their agents in their brokerage sells a house. And that is a great analogy for what a DAC agency is all about. Of course, we're going to have to stay qualified in a much closer fashion than once every several months to be eligible for that. But I look forward to seeing the compensation and that monthly residual qualification that is going to get every one of you in a much better position financially. If you'll just lock on that and pay attention as we roll out those products and roll out that commission piece of it.
Well, I feel like the Godfather. Every time I leave, you pull me back in.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm glad we're able to pull you back in, Cedric. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
You
your
bet.
time. Okay.
All right. Hey, I've got Jimmy. How are you doing tonight, Jimmy?
I am doing good. I've got a quick question. As far as the commercial funding product, would a mixed use property qualify?
Mixed use as in they're renting property to retail and
What?
housing and all of that? Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Absolutely. You got it. That's a great question.
All right. That's all the questions I have.
Okay. Thank you, Jimmy. Hey, I've got Lisa up next. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing tonight?
Good yourself.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks. I just had a question. I know I sent you and David an email, but if I've understood you right earlier, it's okay to invite the company that I was working with on the government contracts with the school districts. Is that
I
right,
wouldn't
to
invite
invite?
the company. Oh, no, I wouldn't invite the company. Okay.
Well,
Let me clarify what I was saying. If you've got someone that's looking as an agent, if that's who you're referring to, the agent opportunity, then yes, but not a company that's interested in Rellevate, because I'm certain that we will be discussing compensation on Wednesday's call, and you wouldn't want a prospective business that's going to use Rellevate for their employees on in part of that conversation. But if you're talking to someone about the agent opportunity and you know they've gone through the business presentation and they've already heard a little bit about Rellevate, they could certainly come on and listen to the Rellevate training on Wednesday to kind of push them over the edge as to whether this is a direction that they want to go.
well, and I guess that's part of what they were discussing too, was the fact that if they have all these companies, I mean, all these school districts across the US, but they would have to be signed up under me as a company as a whole, because it's a corporation.
Mhm.
And then they could be able to bring in the business and offering that service, just kind of like a legal Zoom. It would be a legal Zoom, I guess, a term as offering that, but in this case, it's a third-party administrator. They would offer it across the country if they approve it.
Right, absolutely. And that takes me back now. Yes, I read the email that you sent where and I'll tell everybody what's going on. So Lisa had a conversation with a broker about Rellevate and the possibility of marketing Rellevate, and they decided that they just wanted to go direct to Rellevate. Right? They said, well, if we're going to do this, we're going to go direct to Rellevate. So I had Lisa send an email to David Rutz saying who it is that she spoke with and the company's name, because our agreement with Rellevate will prevent someone like that from circumventing us. So that email that I had her send in was to head that off, so David can make Rellevate aware of this particular brokerage that's thinking that they can circumvent David Allen Capital when we're the one that brought that to them. That way the company Rellevate would say, no, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go through David Allen Capital to participate in this. But they could certainly listen in on that since you're talking business opportunity with them. So glad we clarified that.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Lisa. You're doing some good stuff out there, and I know it's going to pay off in a big way. All right, let's go.
Yes, thank you very much.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Let's go to Valerie. What do you have for us tonight, Valerie?
Hi, Ellen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Actually, I put my question in the chat, and Harlequin already answered it for me, but thank you.
Okay, no problem. I saw your hand up there. Is that a
Yeah, I was just about to put it down. I was.
Okay.
Yes, she just answered. I was just about to put it down. Thank you.
Got it. Got it. Harlequin, was that a question that was worthy for everybody in here, or more specific?
Yeah, she was just asking how many W-2 employees ERC Pros requires, and the answer is one full-time W-2 employee that is not the owner or the owner's immediate family, meaning their parents, their spouse, their siblings, or their children.
Yep. Excellent. I get that question a lot because some of these other companies out there are requiring 5 and more. And those are usually the companies that are saying, oh, well, we're paying 10%. And I'm going, 10% of what?
Uh-huh.
This conversation before, but I'll reiterate, one of the largest companies in the ERC space out there, their business presentation says, they give an example and their example is accurate, but most people don't pay attention to the math. They hear that going to get paid 10%. They don't realize they're getting paid 10% of the fee that company charges, which is going to equate to 2.5% of what the client gets back. Whereas DAC pays 4% of what the client gets back, or 20% of the contingency fee. So our compensation is better. We just had some folks come on that started earning those commissions with another company and realized that they weren't getting what they thought they were going to be getting. And they're super excited to be here with DAC. We're excited to have them on board as well. So I think that covers what we were talking about, unless you've got anything else there in the chat.
Janet has her hand up.
Okay. Hey, Janet, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, and I got a dog gonna be picked up at any minute, and I have a feeling they're gonna come as soon as I start talking, but I feel like I'm missing something. When David keeps saying you have to do the davidallencapital.com/ either your
URL or your agent ID.
right. But if I just put in my URL or the name we had under Namecheap, and then I click on get started, my information is there. So what am I missing? So we can't just use.
When you say the information we had with Namecheap, you bought a domain, I take it.
Yes.
Okay. So what we're seeing is with the old sites, with longevity, when you enter davidallencapital.com/ your ID number stayed in the browser, right? On the main page, whatever you went. Now, no matter which page a client goes to, when they enter that page URL / your ID number or / your URL name, and once you hit enter, the page loads, your information will be on the page, your name, your email, and your phone number, but your information is no longer in the browser link, right? So if you're going to take that link and send it out to anybody else, you always have to do the / your ID or your URL at the end. If your domain name is working as it was, you must have had your link configured properly. What was davidallencapital.com / your ID, right?
Yes.
Page. Yeah, then you're fine continuing to use the domain name. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I thought I was missing something.
Yep. Nope, not at all.
And just another comment. I don't know if you know, if you look up a company under the Better Business Bureau, that tells you when they started their business.
If they're listed, is that only for
Yes.
them to subscribe?
Yes. Yes. Like I had a guy, it's a restoration company, contact me about funding. He just didn't want to use his cash, but in the meantime, I looked up to see as much information as I could get on him, and I saw that his company started in September 1st of 21. So I said to him, they have the startup program in the ERC. We can see if you can, get that startup. I said it's 7,000. He had 3 employees at the time that were not relatives. So he's going to apply for that. And then he's applying for capital because the equipment that he wants to buy is another restoration company going out of business.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And he can
So-
if he meets the revenue requirements.
Right. And he just didn't want to use his cash. So
I don't blame him.
Okay.
It's other people's
Yeah.
money. That's
yes.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Janet. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Yeah, there's a couple of questions in the chat, but also Janet, a better way to look up a start date of a business is if you go to the Secretary of State office or the website for the Secretary of State of the state that they are registered with. That will give the official date that they registered as a business. although sometimes the date that they open and start earning revenue is what they'll go by. It just depends on the situation that you're looking at. But,
Yeah, I get folks calling, looking for funding, and I'll say, well, how long have you been in business? Well, I've been in business for 2 years. I got my EIN number. I got all this set up, but they've had all of that for 2 years and never opened for the first day of business. So,
yeah. But, did you have something else, Janet?
I was just gonna say, but it prompted me to ask him more questions and ask him what his revenue was. He's doing like 150,000 a month. So, yeah, but thank you. It's another good place to go.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, then we have a couple of people who have been asking how to get into the back office. You know, where is that link and how do you get in? And I know if they haven't gotten in, if you can show them how to reset or where to go to reset their password.
Yep, let's go do that. All right. So to get into the back office, you just want to go to your davidallencapital.com website. Every page on the website, all of these are unique product links, and all of them you can add your agent ID number or your URL name to the end of those links. But every one of the pages are on the same main page, which has the same footer. Okay. And at the footer under accounts, you've got agent login. When you go there, you can click on your information. I've already got mine saved in a password saver, and this is a demo account that I have. Let me go here. Let me go to log out. If you don't know what that password is, then you would go click here to reset your password. All you need is your agent ID number. When you click here to reset password, you'll enter your agent ID and it'll automatically send you an email to the email on file. If you don't know which email that is, then go to davidallencapital.com/your ID number, and it will take you, it'll show you on your website what email address is on file. Okay, let's go back in here. Once you log in, there's some really cool stuff. One of the things that I encourage everybody to do is to go into, I believe it's account update. Nope, not that one. It's under business. Under business, your marketing tools. You can change your site name. And if you only have an agent ID number, those of us that came over from Longevity, we weren't given the option to create a URL name. So you can go in and change site name and add an easy to remember name. Like I have davidallencapital.com/Ellen Winn. That's my site name. I don't have to just hand out my ID number. So you can make it your name. You can make it your company name, but whatever you do, if you change it and you submit and it's available, it'll let you save it. Once you have changed that, if you start using that as your link that you're sending out, you're going to be tied to not changing it again. Because if you come back and say, oh, I decided I want to make it something else. If you change it and send something else out later, then you're going to have a link that doesn't work if you make that change. So just know that going into it. But there's some really cool tools back here. Your website, that takes you over to the link. Personal site stats. This is going to show you how many people have visited your site. As I said, this is a demo site, so no one has visited my link. But if I log in and show you my personal account that I'm marketing with, since this went live 20 days ago, I've had over 3,000 hits on my website, right? So you want to go in and see how many hits you're getting on your marketing tools, personal site stats, and see if you're getting the traffic that you think you should be getting if you're making social media posts or getting your links out there, because this will show you how many visitors you had today, how many you had yesterday, last 30 days, and this year since inception. So you've got that opportunity, the Agent Resource Center link. This is soon going to be the only way to get to the Agent Resource Center. That way it's all password protected and behind the scenes here. So that link takes you directly over there. Then your account, you got the ability to go in, update your personal information. Here's where you go in to get your Rellevate pay card. This is how not only are we marketing this product, but we have this as the way that we get paid as DAC agents. So those of us that have been earning commissions and getting paid on Rellevate, we already have that understanding and working knowledge of how the transfers work, the same day instant transfer, 2 of those a month for free, unlimited next day transfers for free. If you need to make more than 2 same day transfers, you can do that. It's a $2.95 charge in the case of an emergency where you got to get, maybe it's maybe you got college kids and you're trying to send them instant money to their debit card, then you can do that instant pay and it's right there immediately. Update password, stay connected. This is where you're going to connect with the corporate team through our contact us link. This is going to go directly into the support email and it'll create a ticket thread so that if you send in a question to support, they'll actually be able to track your initial question and all the comments back and forth over time. But most importantly, when you communicate through this back office, one of the biggest roadblocks in our support team is hearing from agents that just send in an email and all that agent support has is your email address and your name if you signed the email. What they need is your agent ID number and more information to be able to track down who they're actually talking with. This will solidify who they're talking with because you've got to be logged into that back office to start the conversation. So it'll speed up communication from the support team there. Terms and conditions of your agency agreement, refer a friend. If you want to go in here, you can enter in someone's name and their email address, and this will send out links inviting them to take a look at the business opportunity. And you can see I've already added one in here that I sent it out as a test message to myself to see what that message was. And you can add a personal note down here so you can change what the message says. So that's it. And then the dashboard, this is getting updated. You've got your updates, your news, and your number of reps, total reps on the team. We're going to be starting to be seeing the commissions posted in here and more reports coming. So really excited about what we have going on with our back office system.
Yeah. Ellen, Richard has a question. If you change your username or your URL, will that impact what you have done in the past? So if you've got all this marketing stuff out there already and you change it, is that going to void that out?
Yeah, it will. So if you change it to your agent ID number will always work. So you can go in and create a URL and it's interchangeable with the URL name or the agent ID. So agent ID will always work. But if you change it to, if I changed it to Winn for a few weeks and I'm sending marketing stuff out, davidallencapital.com/eWinn, and I go, I really want it to be Ellen Winn, and I come back in and I change it to Ellen Winn. Now that link that had eWinn as the username is a dead link unless somebody else comes in and uses that at a later date. Then it'll go to their site instead of mine. So yeah, if you change it, don't market it unless you know that you're set in stone with that's going to be the URL that you're going to stick and stay with for sure. Good question. All right, and we have Emmanuel's hand up. Hi there, what question do you have tonight? We can hear you.
Okay, so Ellen, my question is with regards to the ERC. I had a client who applied, they went through the whole process and they said there was no state, lockdown.
There was no what?
State lockdown. The governor did not declare any,
So
emergency.
government mandates didn't affect them is what you're saying.
Yeah, there was no government mandate.
Okay, so there were 4 qualifiers, right? They had to have W-2 employees. They either had a loss of revenue during specific quarters of 2020 and 2021, or government mandates that impacted their business, their supply chain, anything that there were shutdowns that specifically impacted their business, or they started a business after February the 15th of 2020. So none of those applied. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think the only thing which don't apply is the government mandate.
Okay, it does apply.
It doesn't. It does not.
Does not. Okay, so they had a loss of revenue, right? But they didn't have government mandates.
Yes.
Okay, so then they should have qualified if they were able to answer yes, that they had a loss of revenue.
They went through all the process and they said, no, they can't qualify. So my question is there a site? Is there a site that I can go in future and say, okay, this state qualifies, this state doesn't have any mandate before even I start the process?
I'm not aware of one, but each business should know, for their particular state, and it could have been state, it could have been county, if there was a government mandate that impacted their business. So I'm not aware of one. There probably is if you Google it, but each business should be aware of what impacts affected them or not.
Yeah. Ellen, if I can, Emmanuel, what industry was the client in?
The person is in the healthcare, talking about home healthcare. Home
Healthcare.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, see, home healthcare was not shut down. It was considered an essential service. So that's why that didn't officially impact them. But if they can show that they had either a 50% drop in revenue in 2020 or a 20% drop in revenue in 2021 in any quarter, then they would be eligible for that.
All right.
I see
Thank you.
Richard with a hand up, and Richard's probably got a comment on that rather than a question, don't you, Richard?
I do. A business that is in a state that did not have mandates may still qualify because they may have suppliers in the state that were locked down or affected and had a more than nominal effect on a more than nominal portion of their business. So I know I've run into businesses that were not locked down, that did not lose money, in fact, actually gained money, but because they had to, find different suppliers and pay additional costs, they were still affected and they still got refund amounts.
Exactly. And they gave, ERC Pros gave that example on our training that said, if you used to buy widgets from Acme Widgets, and because of their shutdowns and government mandates, you had to switch over and start buying from ABC Widgets, and it was a different quality widget and a different price and so on, then you would qualify. So, yeah.
And just so you know, I've dealt with a couple of home healthcare agencies that I was able to get, in one case, $500,000 for.
Excellent.
So, it is possible.
Very
Yeah,
good.
I'm really sad. I had about 30 employees.
Do what now? You had how many?
I said the company had 30 W2 employees. So I was thinking to get something, but it went overboard.
And a good portion of this, Emmanuel, is dependent on the business and how they answer the questions. Because on that questionnaire for ERC Pros, they give examples to be specific, give specific examples of how your business was impacted. So if it were in the example that Richard and I were just discussing, that they had to switch suppliers because of that supplier no longer being able to provide or whatever, they need to be specific about that so that the ERC team can cross-reference and say, oh yeah, well, this was impacted because of another state. an outlying area, but it impacted this company doing business here where there were not specific mandates. So you want to make sure that they're giving a good explanation on that questionnaire. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. You bet. Okay, Richard, do we still have your hand up or did you have something else? Okay, good. All right. Anything else there, Harlequin? We'll wrap up.
Yeah, one last question from Sherry. How can someone place money on the Rellevate card apart from transferring funds from a bank account?
They can transfer.
I don't know the answer to that
Right,
one.
Deposit. Yeah, you can transfer from another account or someone can, if you got Venmo or Cash App, you just use that as your direct account information would set it up. It would have to come from another ACH account. Somebody could transfer. If they don't have Rellevate, they can transfer in by the ACH bank account information, and routing number and account.
Yeah.
They have a Rellevate account, but they wanted to see how it works. So they went to an Ace money, like a MoneyGram place that you can put money in accounts, and it didn't work. He said it didn't work. They said that they don't accept that card. So I was wondering which other way.
I don't know that card is built to do that. It's not.
That's what I was thinking.
Not a reloadable card. It's a real bank account with a Visa debit card.
But is it something like NetSpin? Because NetSpin is a bank account, which a lot of people use because a lot of people get their like retirement on NetSpin.
Yeah, I'm not.
So I was wondering if they can transfer from NetSpin to the Rellevate because it's a bank account with a routing number and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Any bank account, like I transfer my money from my Rellevate account to my regular bank account. And I put my debit card in. Anytime you're doing a transfer, for those of you that don't know Rellevate, when you're doing a transfer, you do send money and you put the person's name, their phone number and email in. You don't have to have any of their account information, right? You're just sending when you enter them as who you're paying, Rellevate will send them a text message with a link that says, Ellen Winn is trying to send you money. Click here to say where you want this money to go. You click that link and then you're entering your own personal bank account information. You're entering your own debit card that goes to your checking account or wherever you want it to go. You're filling that in and accepting it, and then it will tell you that it's been sent. But yeah, it's either on the ACH network or debit card to debit card.
Okay, thank you.
And that would actually be a good question to ask on Wednesday as well.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Stanford, I've got a hand up. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can hear you, yeah.
Okay, great. I have a couple questions about the ERC. One, is there a website that we can go to for businesses looking so we can pitch the ERC program to? And basically, I mean, businesses looking for the ERC program, is there a website that we can go to kind of streamline the process? And along with that, how long can we offer the ERC because of the pandemic?
Yeah, so it's going to officially completely expire on tax day of 2025, but this coming spring in April of 2024, we're going to eliminate that 2021 tax return adjustment. So then we'll be down to 1 year of it. So as we approach April of next year, we're losing time on them being able to qualify for the entire period there. But it goes to a 3-year look back on when the taxes were originally due on the time frame that they're going to be doing an adjustment on.
Okay.
So that's going to go away. Now, your question about, is there a website that we can go to see what businesses are actually looking for the ERC? Is that your question?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. And maybe I'm not understanding your question totally.
Well, I mean, how can I put this? I mean, it's just that there seems to be, in this day and age, there seems to be a database of everything that whatever we're looking for, we can go to a website and look for a company regardless of what they're looking for, what they're looking for. If
Well,
I'm making
I had a
myself.
company last week trying to sell me their lead generation that they're going in and they're crawling Google and being able to pull down the names and business information of people that are searching for ERC information. So I'm sure that technology is out there and there's somebody out there that's willing to sell it to you, but I don't know of a free site that you can go get that information. If someone
Okay.
out there does know, please share.
I agree. Yeah, I would greatly like to know that. The other thing I want to know is I was trying to look for the ERC. I heard you mention ERC Pros, the webinar that talked about ERC for DAC, and I've seen different presentations. But what is the original one that I can go to so I can see it that explains everything without jumping back and forth between the two?
Yeah, so and there's been some updates, okay, but I'm going to take you over here to screen share and go to the Agent Resource Center, which I showed you. You can go through the bottom of the David Allen Capital site, or you can get to the Agent Resource Center now through the back office login. And when you go here under Business Services, the Employee Retention Credit tab,
Okay.
you want to watch that first training. That was the initial launch on it. There are ERC training slides next to it. These are the original slides with a few edits where the process itself was edited. And that's really the only difference in what the training video shows versus what is in the ERC training slides. There's also a quick reference sheet here, an ERC quick reference sheet that I think will be helpful for you. So between that and the slides and the video, you're going to have 100% of the information that you need.
Okay, and one last thing I have is, I think I came in when the caller before me, or two callers before me, were asking about the multi-million-dollar property would not be included. Is that the commercial funding? Was that in reference to the commercial funding?
On what he's asking?
Yeah, there was a caller that was asking about, what type of properties will be that we can submit for, I guess, the commercial funding. I didn't hear the name of the funding that it was referenced to.
Yeah, well, we've got an asset-backed funding that is specific for commercial properties.
Okay, that must have been it then. Okay.
I thought you were talking about a specific question. We gave an example of $1 million property. I know Harlequin was going through those numbers. Yeah.
Right.
But that's commercial real property. So it's either commercial building or commercial real estate that is developable.
And that's for the asset back then.
Asset backed, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the questions.
On that one, Stanford, the training for that is on the main page of, or the home page of the Agent Resource Center. Yes, thank you, Ellen.
It's under the one that says new services launched. Just when you open up the Agent Resource Center, that's the video.
Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for the question. We got Trina with a hand up. Hey, Trina, how are you tonight? Get you to unmute. I'm asking on my end, can you get unmuted over there? Harlequin, can you unmute Trina?
Yeah. Trina Truwell, can you unmute yourself? I'm guessing not.
Yeah. Okay, Trina, there you are. Awesome.
I'm sorry, I really was trying to get unmuted here.
Awesome, we got you.
Okay, so this is to the Rellevate, because I know you can do bank transfer, right? So some banks at their ATM, they will accept deposits. So it just all depends on who you bank with, and their ATM will allow you to make a deposit at their ATM. And then also if you have like a prepaid debit card, that may allow you to put money on there in order to transfer that money over to a Rellevate card too.
Okay, yeah, that's a good plan. Putting it on a prepaid card, and then you've got a transfer network that you could work with.
Right,
Yeah.
because like I have a Bank of America, and at one of their ATMs, it will accept a deposit from a total different bank.
Awesome. Yeah, you know, I have my Rellevate card, and I think I've got it locked in a firebox somewhere. I don't carry it in my wallet because I don't use that money other than if I'm going to transfer it, I'm transferring it to a different checking account. I don't use that debit card. But there's a network on the back of it that tells you what networks to use that are in network, I guess. So,
Yeah, I just wanted to say that. That's all.
yeah, good comment. Thank you for that, Trina.
All right.
All right. And we got Bruce Campbell with a hand up. Hey, Bruce, do you have a question for us tonight? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great there, Ellen. You know, you look great in green. You're my favorite color. I mean, you know, green is the best color of all, right?
Yeah, it brings out the color of my eyes.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's good to know. I always wondered what color your eyes were, because you can't really focus to, you know, get zoomed in to really see those beautiful eyes. But anyway, I was on the meeting this morning, and I asked David a couple of questions in regarding 1-minute videos in regards to introducing the Rellevate new program. And we're hoping on our team side that we'll have those type of additional tools to be able to explain it to companies and to other agents that we want to recruit as well. What really is that opportunity, and how big is it? And, you know, so I just really wish that we could really have that available. I'm noticing more and more that the agents that I have brought in for the last couple of years, you know, they're all kind of hanging on the fence. They really don't know what to do with themselves. They are not confident enough to do more than what they're already doing as a regular job, and it's getting in their way. And so I have to keep reminding them that, you know, do you want to stay at your job, or do you really, you know, want to go for that dream? You know, I did tell Alan today, Mr. Russ today, I had told him that I had a little conversation with you, and that I'm in competition to beat you. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get to the top. All
I
right.
heard you mention my name, Bruce, and bring it on, my friend. Bring it on. I love friendly competition.
Telling you, I'm working like a turtle. I'm putting together quite a few different things that's really going to catch anyone's eye in any industry that they're working in, especially the financial industry. I've got a little money thing that I'm going to get back, you know, over 8 million, and I'm going to get it back. All right. They may have done me wrong in the insurance industry. And I explained to David, you know what? I am so happy to be here because you're so loyal and honest to everyone, and what you're doing for us, and the equity that we can earn is just, wow, what a great dream to really have. So I have a lot to work for. I can't sleep at night. I'm working. I fall asleep. I go to sleep for 2-3 hours, and I'm back up. And what am I doing? I'm brainstorming on what am I going to do to make it even better. And so even while I'm asleep, it's waking me up, telling me, okay, I just got to get up and do it. Right. And then that way I get it done and I don't forget. Right. Because I'm getting old.
I do the same thing every night. I have those sleepless nights. So have you I said, I have those sleepless nights every night, waking up in the middle of the night with an idea of someone that I need to add to my contact list, or a company that I totally forgot about and it just came to me in my sleep. So did you see the video on our Rellevate page, Bruce?
No, I'll go look for it. I did not being
Let's
honest
pop
with
that
you.
up real quick, because this is a great video. Let's
Oh.
see.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Yep.
The reality of today's economy is hitting home with employers. Employee turnover is now running at over 100% and costing over $2,000 to hire, train, and replace workers, let alone sky-high signing bonuses. But even within this new workplace dynamic, one of the core underlying realities that many American workers have is financial insecurity. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 65% of employees feel that personal financial worries impact their health. 44% have less than $400 saved for unexpected expenses. What if one product could help solve both the immediate labor and hiring issues, and also address some of those longer-term worker insecurities and realities without adding $1 to your bottom line? Introducing the Rellevate digital account with no monthly account fees, no credit checks, no minimum balances, and no overdraft fees. The account comes with a Visa debit card, global ATM network, bill pay, send money, and features Pay Any Day. Pay Any Day, a proven way to reduce employee turnover by as much as 40%. With Pay Any Day, employees can access up to 50% of their pay before payday. Pay Any Day is not a loan, it is an advance. And with Rellevate's digital account, your employees can get their money when they need it. Your employees' satisfaction, financial wellness is critical to reducing turnover. Make their life easier, and they will stay longer. Contact us for more information.
Wow, is that what I am really looking for? Yeah.
How
I'm
about
excited.
that? Right there on your Rellevate page, you just click on the How It Works button and you pop up that video. So good
Okay, now
stuff.
will I be able to grab that link from that video, or will I be able to get that video separate?
It's embedded. Let me
Huh?
see. Yeah, it's embedded, and I don't see a link that takes it over. Actually, it's in the DAC agent. It's on the Vimeo channel. It's right there on the Vimeo channel. So yeah, you can download it from there.
From the video channel.
Yep, this is, if you look at the video here, in the top left, it's showing introducing Rellevate. It's the DAC agent's Vimeo channel. So if you click on that link, it opens up the Vimeo channel for DAC. Now, I don't know if it's downloadable or not. They may have prevented it from being a downloadable video. Let's go look. Well, I don't see it. It's going to be one of the newest ones. There it is. Rellevate.
The reality of today's economy.
I don't know if it's downloadable or not. Usually it pop up that it's downloadable, but that's where it is. I would not send that link out separate. I would just do, and what I'm doing is I'm sending out the webpage, the link in a brief description in my email, and saying, you know, when you open up the link at the top, there's a button that says How It Works. That pops up a video that does a great explainer video, and I've got people going to it that way. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. There's always another way around, no matter what. Right?
I'm sure you'll figure it out if there is, Bruce. Thank you for the questions. Okay.
You really got me excited. Thank you. I appreciate all your help.
You bet. All right. We got Ron Peterson. Hey, Ron, how are you doing tonight?
Fantastic. Fantastic. A question on the POS system. I have a potential client that's opening up actually two restaurants, pizza shops. Actually, that's what it is, pizza shops. You know, since it's a new pizza shop, there's no current bank statements or anything like that. Is that a potential client for us?
Absolutely,
POS?
absolutely. Yep. David talked about today how the application sequence has been updated on the payment processing side. So they're going to answer some questions about their business and it's going to automatically take them over. Now, a pizza shop is not going to fall into that less than 5,000 equipment. If it does, which it shouldn't, but if it does, I would have them fill out the question again so that it goes over to Sphere, where they can go in and get the right equipment, especially if they're looking for a point of sale system, then they'll have more options if they go through Sphere there. But yeah, you and actually, Ron, you can go in and fill out the questionnaire for the client on that, on the payment processing. All of our funding products are applications where the client needs to fill it out, but you can go in and fill out the payment processing form with the client. You can have them on the phone and start asking them the questions, and then you can see where it takes them to make sure that it gets them over to the right vendor. Because we've got Sphere and we've got some high risk processors that are coming online with us, so that we've got a variety of different vendors that can basically provide any type of point of sale system or processing that would be needed in the marketplace.
Oh, okay, fantastic, because that's where he's purchasing the equipment, everything is already there. So he's going into a turnkey operation, but he needs a POS system for both locations.
Gotcha. Yeah. And David had a great point today talking about when you're dealing with some of these franchises and so on, sometimes the franchisor requires that they use a particular point of sale system, and sometimes they require that they use a particular processor. So if he's already got a point of sale that was part of the franchise agreement, then he just needs to check with the franchisor and ask, and he choose his own payment processor to connect to that equipment.
Fantastic. What I'll do, I missed the 11:30, so I'll review the 11:30 as well. These are not franchise locations, they're independent, and she has an opportunity just to purchase both of them.
Okay,
Setting
good deal.
setting
Yeah.
them up like that. Mhm.
If he's already got his point of sale system, then he's already got it. But if he doesn't, he might be able to get as good or better system through our vendors at a better price, and something
Okay.
that'll have him in the market with the type of menu item and menu and operational systems that he needs, because they've got some tremendous technology available today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'll listen to the 11:30 recording.
Sounds good.
Bye,
Thanks
Jen.
for your question, Ron. All right. Any one last thing or anything before we wrap up? Harlequin, have any more questions come up?
No, I think that's going to do it.
Okay, awesome. Well, guys, just please, 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 I want to see 100% of our team on Wednesday. So please do your best to reach out to anybody and everybody on your team, at least your frontline agents that you've personally recruited. And if you have frontline agents that you recruited and you know they're no longer active with DAC and they brought someone in, then reach down into your team and call them up and let them know, hey, we've got this call coming up. I want to make sure you're aware. And if you're going, well, how do I find that information? You can pull up your entire team in your back office, right? And when you pull up your team, you see their name and their agent number. You don't have their phone number and you don't have their email, but a real quick trick to get that is to pull their agent ID number, then go to davidallencapital.com and put their agent ID number at the end of the davidallencapital.com/link. And when you hit enter, it's going to load their name, their phone number, and their email address. So now you have a way to be able to find out how to get in touch with every single person in your organization. So go get them. Let's get the word out. Let's get that room packed on Wednesday, because getting enough people in front of the information is really going to be your starting point on how many people are going out and having the conversation about Rellevate. And again, we've got an opportunity for equity share with these guys, and we really need to take advantage of that. We need to build strong and build hard to have some quality professionals that are going out and connecting with some businesses across the country so that we can really take a big share of this in the marketplace. All right. We'll see you guys on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time at daczoom.com. See you then. Have a great night, everybody. Good night.